Many of you may know and love the famous blockbuster from 2009 called The Blind Side. The film, set in Memphis, Tennessee, is based on the true story of Michael Orr, a 17-year-old homeless boy who is adopted into the wealthy white Toohey family. Leanne Toohey and her family welcome Michael into their home despite Michael's dark complexion and traumatic past. Known for his large frame and athletic abilities, Michael would go on to play football for the University of Mississippi and later be drafted into the NFL. The film went on to make over $300 million worldwide and has even been stamped as a classic. But what made this film so successful? Although the Toohey family helped Michael Orr achieve educational and athletic success in real life, the cinematic portrayal of Michael Orr's story in The Blind Side reinforces racial stereotypes in order to appeal to white guilt. This illuminates Leanne Toohey as the white savior and thus contributes to the success of the film at the box offices and beyond. A white savior is someone who attempts to save people of color from the margins of society through so-called sacrifices and take credit for the success. Mrs. Toohey plays this role from the beginning of the movie when she sees Michael's many failed tackle attempts on the field and takes it upon herself to storm onto the field and tells Michael a spiel about needing to protect his team as if they were all members of the Toohey family. After her speech, Michael magically learns the skills of football. Why is this a problem? It credits Michael's success on the football field to the agency of Mrs. Toohey rather than Orr's own athletic abilities. Almost every other white character can also be seen as a white savior. His white science teacher sticks up for Michael in the teacher conference room, and while other white staff discredit him, his tutor, Miss Sue, encourages him to attend college, and even his 7-year-old adopted brother gets credit for building Michael's confidence on the field, helping him learn the playbook, and creating his highlight tape that helps him get college offered. So why is this movie such a hit among white people? The answer is white guilt, or a collective guilt felt by white people for the harm that is caused to ethnic minorities such as African Americans from the actions of other white people. I think that Mrs. Toohey helps appease this guilt for white audiences. Since the story is told through her eyes, white audience members get all the feel-good sentiments from her helping a person of color when they're actually doing nothing to help destabilize racism in the country. In bed one night after questioning whether taking in Michael was a good idea, Mrs. Toohey turns to her husband and asks, "Am I a good person?" To which he responds, "You're the best person I know." Self-congratulatory scenes like these appear throughout the movie and misinforms white viewers to think that Mrs. Toohey's actions are enough to take away their own guilt and single-handedly solve issues of race within the country. Lastly, but most importantly, is to consider the perspective of who this story is actually about. Michael Orr, whose point of view is largely misrepresented and excluded from the film's narrative. In his autobiography, I Beat the Odds, Orr comments on how The Blind Side excludes all the pain and perseverance he endured before the happy ending in the foster system. He also finds that the movie takes away from the central role of his athletic abilities that were able to help him succeed in the classroom and beyond, and states that football played a large part in his childhood, unlike how the movie presents him as a lethargic and unknowledgeable person in the sports world. This misrepresentation is pivotal in constructing the film's illumination of white culture as superior, or as if Michael could only succeed through the participation in white norms rather than deferring to lesser black culture. Since this film is told through the eyes of a privileged white woman such as Mrs. Toohey, and the story starts off when the Tooheys enter Michael's life in high school, black agency is pushed aside. However, it was black agency that Orr emphasizes in his autobiography that helped him the most. We are only introduced to one black character for 5 minutes that helped Michael at the beginning of the movie, when in reality black families and friends gave him places to sleep, warm meals, and helped him avoid negative influences throughout his whole life, even before the Tooheys had entered Michael's life. Viewers are misinformed to the realities of Michael's life and many other black males that have gone through similar struggles. Painting The Blind Side as a true story is simply incorrect, as it reinforces the white savior narrative, illuminating supremacy of white culture and discounts black agency that was central to Michael's success.